This is Lunch is Over.
Lunch is over.
Lunch is over.
We are the Loop.
This is your boy Alessi's from Your Soy Customs.
You're rocking with your boy, the Real D Nation.
And this is Lunch is Over.
Let's see. We got a couple more news. We're going to bring on our guests. The Celtics play tonight at 7:30. They play the Golden State Warriors. The Bruins play at 7 p.m. versus the Rangers. And the Red Sox, Adam Duvall agrees to a $7 million one-year deal. It must be nice to be an athlete. And the Patriots, they just been hanging out. So make sure y'all see what they got going on.
My name is Kei. I'm an artist from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm from Dorchester. I just started doing music.
We gotta pause. We're gonna take pauses there.
Okay.
Where are you from?
I am from Dorchester.
Did you move to Boston or anything?
No, I was born in Boston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Born, raised.
I just ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna play this.
I was born, raised in Dorchester. I am 22 years old, and I just recently started doing music in 2021. So This will be my second full year of doing music professionally, and I am here accompanied with my manager. Somehow, like, how did you even come across the project?
It was actually through a mutual friend named Madsen. So he had
Madison High School.
Madsen, no, that's his name.
Oh, yeah. Madison Park High.
Yeah, it was a mutual friend.
Like, what?
Yeah, and I had seen him on Instagram. So Kei had actually hosted a listening party, and I only found out about it because he reposted it. So when I saw he posted it, like I follow a lot of Boston artists. I went ahead and tapped in and was just listening, and Baby Steps, 6 tracks. I had never heard anybody from the city rapping like this, much less a woman, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, this is incredible. Immediately, like after I listened to it like twice through,
definitely a different style.
DM'd her and I was like, yo, I'm such a fan. You don't know who I am, but this is great. Like, I just want to give you your flowers for real. And then we kind of just kept running into each other for real. Like after I heard it, I'm one of those people where when I love something, I tell everybody that I know about it. Like, I won't stop talking about it. So
I love it.
I ended up telling a bunch of friends, and especially in the Thrill community. Shout out Thrill. And it made its way to Rob. Shout out Rob, Puss in Work. And he was actually hosting a festival in September of last year, and September 2021 actually. And it was the Future Forward Festival.
In Roxbury, in MLK Park.
Yeah, so they were actually like looking for talent, and because I had talked about it so much to the Thrill guys, they ended up telling Rob. Rob was awesome enough to book Kei, and they actually asked me to stage manage that day.
Fire.
So it was crazy because the first interaction Kei and I even had was like, hey, this is her first performance ever, and I'm the person that's telling her when she can get on stage. So
and
then the person.
And then after that, like he said, like we kind of just kept running into each other, and he definitely like made himself a resource to me. Like, hey, like I love what you're doing.
Dope.
If in any way I can support you, let me know. He ended up like making me an EPK, like. And I mind you, I had no knowledge of anything. Like, I didn't even know what that was. Right. And when I seen it and just seen how much like effort he put into it, like I cried, and I'm like, yo, like this means a lot. I showed my sister, and she was like, yo, like that's dope, like he should manage you. So like on 3 separate occasions I asked him like, yo, would you consider like managing an artist? I definitely am looking for one. And it took like a couple of times and some definitely time of consideration. But yeah, we ended up just working with each other and seeing like what would work, where it would take us, and we're here now on Spark FM.
Look at no, y'all are taking y'all. The city's on lock, but for me, I'm just grateful that you ain't gonna take this no type of way, because I feel like the women are literally still taking over in the city, from all ages. And I'm saying, no, you're fine. Okay, they'll be all right. we don't hear. Yeah. Look at when I say I'll curse and I just act like nothing happened. Yeah, just keep going. But no, like when it comes to the woman, and I'm gonna be real, there is like an age gap, but then it doesn't matter. I feel like in music only, I feel like sometimes in hip hop we put like, oh, you're this age, I can't be doing this, like that. But from the 18-year-olds to the I'm gonna say 40 on some real stuff like that. You got the 40-year-olds singing and stuff.
No, facts.
Y'all are shutting it down because I feel like there was no room for a woman at a point in time. But then, this is I'm speaking on my own. then I feel like they made room for a woman, but I'm gonna talk trash. They were trash, and it's not like the real hip hop or bars or anything like that, or somebody being so creative that people are listening. Like we want to hear like the little, I call it like the bubblegum rap, like or whatever like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Y'all seen? Well, you. You heard my comment the other night, and that's like if I'd be lying to somebody, I feel like I'll be doing you a disservice.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, I like what I like, and somebody else might like it, but don't take what I say. But it's like it's bubblegum rap. Like when I hear you, this is different. Like, and you're like a mixture of everything in one. So it's like,
thank you.
Yeah, we need. When I said to that dude the other night, it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, yo, Kei's fire. Like that. Well, I'm coming to listen to that shit. I'm coming, but then I think did I leave early? No, the event that y'all had in
Nubian Gallery.
Where?
Newbie. Are you? Oh, you're talking about the during Halloween.
Yeah.
The Blair Beat Project.
Yes. So stuff like that is
awesome.
like fire. We don't see a lot of rappers doing that, and I don't like to compare the two, but it's like that's why I'd rather work with female artists, because it's like you're like, yo, I'm not gonna leave this undone. Like you're gonna get to it. You're seeing everything. Like I'm not gonna half any project, and we need more people like that.
Yeah,
and that would be real from Dorchester, and not coming y'all transplants. But I love all my transplants. But I'm just saying, it's just proud that she's from Dorchester. You know. Anyways, this has went on way too long, and I forgot to ask this person last week. We're gonna back up. The name of the show is Lunch Is Over. Look at y'all got serious.
Yeah.
What do y'all like to eat for lunch? If you have time for lunch. And
That's
if you
real.
could make a lunch, what would you do?
Every and anything. I'm a foodie, like so much so that this year, like I'm starting my own like food blog. I'm gonna do food reviews. But me, I really like potatoes. So any type, like mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, like French fries, some steak. You know, definitely heavy on the proteins, the meats, and like I love vegetables, like lemon butter broccoli or like some like asparagus, some Brussels sprouts, something like that. You know, what would you?
Asparagus bomb. I had that last night.
I feel like we connected over this because I'm not picky when it comes to food. Like I love food.
Don't hang out with me.
You know?
I don't. The only food I don't really like is like seafood. And I know people are gonna come at my neck.
I only eat shrimp and fish. That's it. Everything else is like chewy and not look like it's supposed to be eaten.
Yeah, like
lobster does not look like it's supposed to be eaten.
I tried an oyster for the first time.
Oh my god.
Crab though?
It was char grilled though. It wasn't raw. I don't think I would ever do that. And it wasn't
Oysters
that
when you
bad.
start, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. But I was like, yeah.
No, never.
'Cause I had one. I didn't have multiple. I just had one. But yeah.
I mean, I know you said lunch is over, but it's like these are like brunch hours too, you know.
No, that's why lunch is over.
Yeah.
Because for lunch is over, honestly, it was more of like a Breakfast Club spin.
Got
so that's
you.
where my name came
like
from.
that, yeah.
And I'm like, yes, Breakfast Club. And I'm like, nobody has like a afternoon show, but it's lunchtime, but it's brunch. You can literally eat anything for lunch.
Yeah.
As an artist, if you think about it, we can go to Waffle House right now somewhere, like, you know, like we're at to eat whatever, like whatever is open. So lunch is always over. Like, and I be eating that. When I said that asparagus, I ate that like at 12 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
And I had spaghetti for dinner, but I was still hungry, so I went back and ate a pork chop and asparagus.
It'd be like that.
You cooked it?
Huh?
You cooked it?
No, Shorty cooked that. We ain't say her name. Somebody else cooked it. Whoa, don't be. This is not.
You know,
Oh my goodness.
I have had to cook for a little bit. We just go out to eat and she cooked. That's it. But anyways, so I know how you all met. Thanks for that story. This is lovely.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, look at I don't know if anybody else has a question, but I am, because I'm always interested in people's
dynamics,
right? Like
relationship,
how they bond,
like how they get, like, you know, along.
Right. And not everybody, you know, everybody has a team, but when I say when you have a team of somebody, like you I'm gonna be real, you said you cried like when you seen that, right? So that's like me, Brandy, like the like relationship, like that certain stuff we do with each other. I'm like, wow, that's meaningful. And it's like that person really took the thought and idea of just to think about you to put whatever together, and it's like, I think we're actually cooler than that. Like, you know, and not even like no whatever type of way, but it's just like this person cares about my career or whatever, my
Yeah.
well-being, and it's not for them. It's not about you. Like,
yeah,
you know, like,
I feel like when it comes to a team, I feel like, or like just people that you're working with in business, I'm not saying like you got to mix business with pleasure, but
Right.
you definitely have to have a connection outside the transactional relationship
That
that
makes
you
sense.
have, because you need to understand like the people you're working with and have the best interest for them. Me, I'm not the type of artist where I want everything to be about me.
Yep.
And Sadiq can like double on that. Like, I want it to be a reciprocal relationship. I value a reciprocal relationship as much as the people around me are adding value to my career and what I got going on. I want to add the value there too, and to
Yeah.
the community that supported me. So yeah, like, I hate,
22 years old. Do y'all hear this?
you know, like, yeah, I feel like that's what's important. Not just like, what can you do for me? What can I do for you?
Yeah.
But like, do you really care about me? You know, do I care about you?
Right.
So yeah, I feel like that's really important.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mattapan.
Okay, I think we talked about this before. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
and I got excited about that too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm
Born and
Dorchester
raised,
kid.
like both sets of my grandparents are
Mm-hmm.
from here, you know. So it's crazy.
I just be excited just even more. I don't know. It just means a lot. Clearly, I'm like, whatever. I'd be like, Boston got next, and they'd be like, oh, I'm from whatever. I'd be like, God dang. So that just be me. Outside, just be really, really excited. I was gonna ask. So I met you at the testing lab, I believe. Shout out to Shaka, Noble, like everybody.
Shout
I
out
was just
to Sound
texting
Lab.
Shaka, like
Shout out Sound
Museum
Lab.
TV.
Museum TV. You dig?
Noble.
Right. In your words, because now you done was on a panelist this past week. Why would you recommend the testing lab, like in your own words? And it's not even like trying to like promote, but it's just like that's how I met you. That's how I met Chis Capo.
Yeah.
And I definitely think it's like another outlet for artists, but just like, why would you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say two things. For an artist just going there to watch other artists, it's a great opportunity for you to watch other, if you're not as experienced or you're new, like just new as me, it's a good opportunity to look at other artists who may be new in this too, or, you know, seasoned vets in this, and seeing how they perform, seeing what their music sound like, seeing what people like receive better than others, and taking that as a chance to be like, this is what I need to work on, or these are the things that I feel like are valuable to me that might not come easy to other people when it comes to making music or, you know, performing. But when it comes to actually being a guest, like not guest, but when it comes to actually performing and testing out your music, it's a good opportunity to see like what areas you can work on and develop further within your craft. You know, whether that's songwriting, whether that's better production, whether that's just how you perform and or the content of your music. It's a good way to test these things out and see just how you can grow. I don't think a lot of people take the time to actually do that on their own. So that's a really good opportunity to see what you can work on.
Look at, shout out to them. Next, don't quote me, I'll be late, so I'm like, don't even ask me when the next one is. So whatever, in 2 weeks. Make sure y'all tapping with them.
Yeah, C4 said, if you don't want your producers all up in the videos, come to the Sound Lab.
I'm done. Wow.
The next testing lab is January 31st. If you want to sign up now with at the Museum TV.
Look at, she better than me. Look at, I get the text and I still be like, we'll figure this out. I'll post it on Boston Got Next, and when I get, look at, just send me all the information. Copy and paste. It'd be loud. So what does your week in a life look like balancing life and relationships? And this can be friends, family, this dynamic right here. Like, are you in the studio every day, 12 hours a week? No, well, 12 hours a day, not even a week, because that's, I don't know, I feel like that's like under.
You would think so, right? That's a great question, and I'm really glad that you asked it, because I feel like, especially with all the attention that I've gained throughout this past couple of months, I feel like people perceive me and my life to be one way when it's totally not. A lot of, like, it's okay, like, people feel like I have all the answers and everything put together, and I don't. My week is very scattered, and when you choose to be a creative and not really pursue like a 9-to-5 job, it's not as structured as you may think it's gonna be. Like, there's days that you're going to be extremely productive. Like, this week was an extremely like busy week for the both of us. We have like a couple of like interviews that we had to do, things that we had to update, and things like that. But there's some days where you don't do anything at all. Like you're just chilling and
Sorry, I don't have a team, so I have to take my photos.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
You're absolutely good.
Yeah, sometimes you don't do anything at all. For me, I'm not in the studio as much as I would like to be, and that's because I'm fairly new, you know. I'm still trying to figure out my sound. I'm still trying to figure out my creative process, and sometimes I'm hard on myself because like I feel like I should be doing more. But understand that I'm also doing enough, and trying to create that balance with I have my creative life where my family may not understand like why I don't come around as much or why I'm not home, but then I have like people who are my friends who are also creatives, and they understand like they have other things that they want to do with me, but I'm not able to see them as much, and just trying to like I feel like this year I'm just focusing on balance. I'm focusing on consistency and just trying to be better. I try to tell myself every single day I want to be better than who I was yesterday. Yeah. So, you know, just trying to stay productive, trying to stay grounded, and trying to just create change, whether that's in myself or my community, is just my week to week. What did your week look like?
Man, my week looks like he said, it can be very different, you know. Every day is different. Stuff comes up. You might have to tap in with some people, just checking in, like maintaining relationships, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, you know, a lot of research, you know, because we're at a stage where we want to expand, and even before then, like trying to find the right opportunities in other cities. That's a lot of research and making the right decisions around that. Like he said, I like to spend a lot of time with my family, you know, and sometimes like it's necessary just with the way my life's set up. So there will be days where you might not feel super productive as a creative. You might take 2-3 days off, you know what I'm saying? But then there might be that one day where you accomplish more in a week, you know, more in a day than you might in a week or 2 weeks, you know? It's just jam-packed like that. Sometimes, you know, I take it day by day as things come, because if you overwhelm yourself and you're always thinking about like what's next, all these different things coming up, you'll overwhelm yourself, you know. So you got to focus on what's in front of you, and that's something that I try my best to do.
That's real.
Yeah, but I see Kei all the time. I mean,
we are with each other like almost every single day.
Like, or we on FaceTime,
or on, you know, at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, like preparing for stuff. It's
I'm
like
not
family.
Judging. Y'all see who I work. It's like that. Literally between Cake Swag and Brittany, I'm getting a text every other it's your family now. Like, you know, it's a part of your life. Let's just be real. There will be you're growing.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna say, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, I just like that. I'm 31. Okay. So like, I need to get some sleep, but I look a little bit younger. But yeah, look it, right? So I'm gonna be real. In your relationships, like I'm talking about like spouses and stuff or whatever like that, it's gonna become a time you're like, you're always with this person, and then you gotta say, well, who else is gonna do it?
Bro, I've been there. Been there.
If I talk about relationships and like friends, because you said something important though, like the balance in family. Like, you used to be with me and now you're not with me, but then it's just like, do y'all not want to see me like in this whatever? Like you know, I don't want to say like see me grow. I'll say, because if I'm always at home, what am I doing? Like, you know? So it's like,
and I think that's the tough thing about it, because like a lot of people might not understand that when you're speaking about creatives. They're like, I don't want to spend time in the studio, or I don't want to do this, and it's like, a lot of the times, I know it's like you might not be in the studio as much as she says she wanted to, but there's other times that might be when we're talking about feeling productive. There might be other times we're just there for the community element of it, you know, and to support homies, like whether it's something like the testing lab or whether it's like someone's working on a project, they'd love to hear your opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a part of the work too. Yeah. So
it's layers, levels to this, levels. Yeah. They'll say for real.
Levels to this.
Let me see. So for you, I know you're still new, but stuff happens. I ask this question to every artist, and then because I'm glad you're here, let me see. I didn't give my warning. The shit's couple. I'm sorry. If not, but I'm definitely enjoying this. So I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Have you had any oopsies along the way? And for you, like, have you ever started the show? You was at the festival, and like for me, I'd be like, oh, I tell this person to be here at 7 o'clock, and they start at 7:30 and think they about to come on at 7:30, and they don't know, they just kick the whole show back and they still want to get in. Or sometimes I'd be forgetting a chord or something like that. Has anything happened along the way? Because everybody talks about the good stuff that happens, but nobody realizes like the background scene, you sweating, even you was just like on a big old stage at the BMAs. Like, I don't say anything happened there, but like any oopsies along the way that you can like encourage other people that stuff happens, but you gotta get through it.
Yeah. Definitely understand that this whole journey and experience is filled with learning lessons. And that could be from like, the first thing that came to my mind is like, for a project, one of my peoples produced something and I had forgot to credit them in like the actual like metadata, and that's something because I'm still trying to figure out like uploads and like putting all that, and that was a big learning lesson
they
for
come
me.
at you quick, trust me.
You know, and that's a big one. We have smaller ones like communication.
Like I feel like that's the thing. We've been working together for a year, and I feel like we have been able to accomplish a lot. But the other piece of it is like, when it comes to building that relationship, you know, we've definitely been around each other for the past year, but it's also like, what does that look like? Like we think differently, we approach things differently, you know what I'm saying? And that someone might be rubbed the wrong way by someone going about something one way versus they think they should be approached in a different way. Like early on, there was some miscommunication issues.
Yeah, because I don't trust people. Before this, I like getting into the community and being with people is so new because I'm used to just being like by myself. So like I ain't trust people. So it's just like, you want to do this for me? What do you want to do this for me for? But like like just being on the same page and like making sure
still be like that to an extent though.
You know, still like making sure we understand each other, like understanding what our values are, how we can make both of our goals align, and just making things work. Honestly, like
and just in general too, like especially speaking from a manager's perspective, you know, it's a lot to take somebody's like career into your hand. Like she said, she asked me 3 times. Like I was trying to make sure I was sure about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I felt good about it and kept moving forward, like I feel like it's key that Kei said, you have to have some sort of relationship outside of just the business, because it's like with both of us kind of starting out in the music, you got to trust me enough to be like, okay, this might not be perfect today, but you trust me to still have your best interests at heart. Right. You know what I'm saying? And there were a lot of instances of that where it's like, you know what? I didn't show up the best today, but this is a learning experience. And if we can both chalk it up to that, then we can move forward from this, you know? Because I feel like when there's that impersonality, sometimes you need that. I'm not going to say, you know, there's no place for that. But I feel like that might cut a lot of things off before you even get to learn from it and grow from that and get an opportunity to be better. So
I'm loving this. Like, no, for real. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, working with the people I work with, it's like a breath of fresh air, because like a lot of people, not a lot, some people, you know, whatever, take away from what y'all just said, but like don't understand like relationships matter, just like literally outside, inside the business. And it's not just because, yo, I knew this person for 10 years, let them manage me, because they could steal your money tomorrow, like, you know, that whole time. Or you got like, I'm gonna be, you're not an artist, but like for me, my personal thing, I do not like seeing other artists manage other artists, because, and like, I'm gonna say it again, I do not like seeing that, or somebody who is somewhat even close to doing similar work to what you're doing, because I have trust issues.
Yeah, me too.
How do I really know if you get hit up for a gig that this is X, Y, and Z? So it's like, I'm glad to see like people are smart and thinking about because you hear so many bad stories, and it's just like in Boston alone, I'm just like, wow, like dang, we here small, like we supposed to be growing together. So I encourage relationships like this. Y'all know how I feel about the people I work with, but like literally like build relationships first, and then sometimes it may not work out, but it could be a good thing. Like they could have taught you a lesson.
No, that's real. Like I'm same thing with the trusting. Like I'm big on like, yo, put your money where your mouth is before
you try to
do anything.
Bernie got like my social security number at this point. Like, so you know what I'm saying?
But it's like funny because like
and cake, so I'm like, oh, they all got it because they had to do flights. But
when she asked me like those first couple times, I was like, look, like let me show you what I could do for you before we formalize anything, because a lot of people run straight to like, all right, let's get something on paper, this and that. But I've seen too many documentaries and read up on too much. So like a lot of stuff started off like some of the greats, it's just a handshake, you know, for like 3, 4, going on 5 months, I think, before we even like formalize anything. I'm like, you know, let me show you we establish the trust, and you know, you can see it's real. I'm not BSing you, and we'll go from there. And you know, thankfully we got to
binding
a point.
contract, except for little certain stuff, because they're gonna be like, Sham, yes you do, but like with certain stuff, with any artist I work with, like, or the people like.
Yeah, and then thankfully we got to a place where we were like, this makes sense. Let's continue to work together.
Right.
Yeah.
And I understand there's like a lack of like artist management in the city, but that don't mean just like up and choose,
right.
like just up and choose, like I'm gonna do this. Like at least try to be around other people.
I was gonna say I got challenged out a little bit. I agree. I feel like there can be more of us, but the few of us that there are, they're amazing.
Y'all just not
Yeah.
real
Like,
people.
Yeah, I'm saying like I know there are, but there's few of them. But that just because there's a few of them or a few of the artist management in the city, don't just up and be like, I'm a manage, because how are you gonna manage, like you said, you're taking on someone's entire like career. Like, do you feel like you really have the resource?
You know, shout out Rob. Shout out
the people who actually
shout out Charlia.
Yeah, I was gonna say
she's amazing.
Who
You
did
know,
they? Hold on.
Charlia, she manages Vintage Lee.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tim.
and she also Tim. You know, he's been great
For Cousin Stiz.
Okay. Oh my God! Look, I'm over. Yo, I'm gonna make sure I edit that.
Shout out Steph and Cam. You know, Thrill.
I'm like, oh wait, yeah.
Nah, cause Thrill. I honestly don't think, you know, I'd be who I am.
Funny. Wait. It's a drink, y'all. It's a drink.
What you sipping on over there?
I'm horrible, so I was like, yeah, I didn't even bring nothing.
It's okay. I was just.
I'm like the
What'd you mix it with?
No,
No, it's okay.
You
It's
doing a
okay.
great job.
Let me see if there's something over
No,
there.
no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I got y'all a drink after this if y'all want to.
Okay,
I got y'all.
Appreciate that.
First drink. That's
Yeah.
it.
Shout out Thrill, man. I can't talk about them enough, because you know, they're the people that welcomed me into the community with open arms and allowed me to even be around some of the creatives I have, and to meet them and be trusted and, you know, really comfortable in those spaces. Like, I think what they're curating is one of the best things ever, one of the greatest communities I've had the honor and privilege to be a part of.
Dope.
You know, and they're just connected to so many different artists in the city, from the young ones to the older folks to like, they just have a real understanding of it. So shout out Thrill.
I'll make sure I tag them and look. Oh, he's throwing up gang signs.
Nah.
Oh, it's
Thrill,
the thrill side. It's the thrill side.
Shout out Thrill, man. It's all love on
This
this
is a
side.
positive show, everybody. So
It's funny.
let's see. I'll say, so what are some highlights in your life and career? I know, like, right now, definitely being amazed, but like there could be other stuff. So like it could be family, friends related, but I'm gonna go out for both of you all. Like, what are some highlights you'll say?
I got to travel across the country for the first time. I got to go on the West Coast for the first time to perform at a festival. Like, I've been wanting. I went to California. I always wanted to go, not just because LA and like what that brings, but like the actual terrain of that state. Like, it's so beautiful. I always wanted to visit, and I had the opportunity to go perform at a festival in South LA called When You Grow Up Festival. Okay. And it was a festival curated with Black and brown students and youth from South LA. Hey. Live Nation came and funded. They have a whole like community center, tech center called the Beehive, and that's the first one ever there. And you know, with me having my first project be Baby Steps, and then I was on tour, and that's how I was ending my tour over there at When You Grow Up. It kind of just felt like it just felt like a full 360 moment. Yeah. Some other highlights is just seeing my friends and my family just be and pop out at my shows and support, like just the unconditional like love and support I've been receiving. Yo, and it's so surreal, because like I said, prior to being introduced into this community and me and creatives like you and Sadiq and everybody else I'm around, I didn't know this existed. I didn't have people who pushed me like that. I was just kind of dolo to see all these people who don't know me and like mess with my music and like really support what I got going on. That's just like the presence of God. Like, it just shows me I'm doing the right thing. And there's this one, I think it was my second or third show ever. It was in 2021. I performed at Starlight Square in Cambridge.
Yeah, shout out to Starlight.
Yeah, and after my performance, these 3 little girls came up to me, like little, I say like 7, 8 years old. And she was like, I really enjoyed your performance. And I'm like, thank you. She was like, yeah, but why do you curse so much? And I told her, I was like, you know what? I don't know. I felt like that was just the best way I could express myself at the time. And I'm not perfect, so I'm working on it. Right. And they gave me like a little croc giblet as a gift. And that was just a wholesome like moment. So it's really like the big like things that I achieved, they're good, but I feel like it's those small like sentimental moments that really mean a lot to me. Are there any moments within us working together that you can
wait real quick? I'll say you'll adjust to that though. Brandy Blaze told me to my face, right? When we started working together, I can't do a clean show. I said, I bet you'll be in rehearsal this week and you will be doing a clean show. And ever since then, you'll get to that. Like, I'll give you a day. You're gonna go to that show. Somebody's gonna be like, I'm paying you X, Y, and Z, but we need a clean set. I guarantee you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So it's like you get to that point where you can switch on and off.
Yeah,
you gonna slip up because trust me, Brandy be rapping and I be the one swearing. I'm like, oh, I'm just a DJ. I ain't supposed to be on the mic. Like, what?
Hilarious.
So like for you, like you're gonna get to that point where like they're gonna ask that, but you're gonna be like, well, this is age appropriate. That's why.
Yeah.
You can tell them as a 7-year-old, you ain't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Come back to the clean show.
Yeah.
But that's just the.
And I'm about to do a youth event. I believe at the end of this month or something, and I have to get some cleans.
It's gonna come so natural, you're not gonna realize it until like once you start rehearsing, you put it into your routine.
Yeah,
that's it. Like that's all it comes down to. Then once you see, now I'm gonna give a real insight. I'm gonna be real. The bag is bigger on the clean side than it is on the thing side. That's
you're not lying.
I get hit up all the time. Can they do a clean set? Yes, they can. They
you
can do it. Because the check's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
I guarantee that.
And I'm for the youth them, so you're going to have to.
Look I got you on the editor.
On some highlights, man, there's a couple. The tour was definitely a big one for me, because that was one of those goals of mine that I used to like other it, it was something I felt like was outside of me, where it's like, I want to go on tour, but it's one of those things that feels unreachable where I feel like somebody has to take me on tour. And I didn't even know in what capacity I'd be involved, you know what I'm saying? Just as a person, outside of managing anything else. So when we routed our own short tour, it's crazy, 3 cities, 3-song EP, it was nuts. And I'm like, we did that. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
But that was crazy. I'm trying to think of what else. Blair was nuts. That was something I told Kei about like a year before. And I was like,
he's working on that for a while.
Yeah, so to see that come to fruition, that was beautiful. Shooting the documentary around everything. Man, there were so many. Like watching Kei's family. When Kei, there was one show we did in Somerville. I think Carter put on the world premiere.
The world premiere.
That's when our families got to meet for the first time. So so my dad had pulled up to the show, and Kei's family was there, her sister and other folks, and that was the first time everybody really got to connect. So it was okay, we know each other now. This is great, and that was really nice because my dad, he's so hip, which is so great because after she asked me 3 times to manage her, I brought the music to my father, and he listened. He was like, "She's dope. You gotta do it. You gotta do it." And I was like, "Oh, that's the resident A&R. That's crazy." So it was a really beautiful moment.
Yeah, they said, "Why Sham put it on for the Spark FM fam." TNS with Scuba Steve.
I was like, look, I love him. Thank you. All day. I know I be trying to be consistent, but I'm like, I gotta get back into the game. I'd be here, then not here, then not here. But I'm like, Spark FM, no, I love them. I be trying to get my life together. Yeah. We're gonna take a quick break, not a real break, but I'm about to play Kei's video from the website, which is fire. If you are, slow down, Sham. Chiz Capo text me.
What'd he say?
Getting ratchet, right? I'm so sorry. I can't make it. I have to reschedule Sham. I got caught up at work. I can't make it out, though. I would have came, but something came up. Forgive me, gang. And I said, okay, no problem, boss, because I'm a sucker. And I was like, But nah, I love Chiz Capo. We're gonna tap back in with him. He
Shout
got some
out
stuff
Chiz,
going
bro.
on.
Yo, my boy. So when Chiz was coming up, just while we on him real quick,
I know. Let's get everybody up.
I know
I love everybody from the city. That's how I was amped. I'm like, oh, shout everybody.
one of his main producers coming up was Jose What Up, Isaiah Valmont.
Hey.
And the crazy thing is, I found out about Chiz through Zay, because Zay and I went to camp together.
Ooh, I heard
Crossroads for Kids like forever ago, and so it's crazy to see like how everybody in the city's connected in a small way.
Yeah.
You know,
Like even here, I'm just like, what? Like Chiz Capo knows people that I like. It's just, yeah, and I'm just like, where you been at? I don't say where you been at, but I'm like, people say, I'm gonna still say I'm a random DJ. Like people are still saying like, where did you come from? And I'm like, I don't even know. I swear to God. Like if I could find, I'm gonna find Rick Rubin's interview he did with Anderson Cooper. That's literally me. Like they're like, do you know how to work a soundboard? No. But I'm like, you know, you really do. Like, where'd you come from? I have no idea. I'm just freaking here.
Just here,
like,
bro.
I'm just here.
Being
But
present.
here is, well, actually, I'll let you introduce it.
All right, here is my latest music video to my single Berserk that came out in August last year, and we about to tune into it. Let's get it.
I'll take y'all screen so we don't gotta.
How I come in just so effortless. I got you hooked, I know you wonder how I jig and finesse. The truth is everything I do, I never do to impress. Somehow I kinda find out words to express, but I digress. Big stunner and I'm styling. I heard it make diamonds, so it's pressure I'm applying. Keep putting in work, so this money start compiling. Until there's assets to my family, I'm providing. Oh, you know I'm tough, bitch, and you don't wanna get fucked with. Spit in your face, no discussion. Hop up on the beat, and I'm munching. Laying crazy bars that these niggas never touching. I'm going kooky, they go put me in a loony bin. Every day I'm so the orders wanna shoot a king. Needed this, shorty's got my style and I needed it. Tryna live a life that was never suited. Now that I'm just 50-50. City to my city, white bitches, itty bitty. Moving silly, that's the reason you won't sit with me. So everything you got, my niggas, they go put it with me. We getting busy, insane, I go berserk. Anything I do, I kill, I murder. Bitches in the back, I come in first. Popping shit until I make it work. Insane, I go berserk. Anything I do, I kill, I murder. Bitches in the back, I come in first. Popping shit until I make it work. It work. It work. It work. It work. Bitch, I'm popping shit until I make it work.
yo, shout out Give, man.
Yeah, shout out Gib DJ for all the crazy production that he's
Sleeping
done
giants
for
in the
me.
city, bro.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't like comparing people. I love the videos because like now this is when I get biased as hell. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
You don't care.
You and Cake Swag. And I'll say Red Chase too, like the visuals. It's like, oh, sorry, I got the Nutri-Grain bar.
Conceptual.
It's not like we about to shoot a video today. This seems detailed as ever. Like from, we're gonna go back. So I love to explore videos, right?
I got you hooked, I know you.
Stuff like this. Who did you hear?
His sister, Sadiq's sister, did my hair.
Wow.
And you know how we did it? So I took and I so my inspiration was like, you know, when Rihanna, she had like her hair kind of like in the braids, kind of like that, or like in the movie Don't Be a Menace to the Society when he had like the binky in his hair.
Yes.
I wanted something like that, but a little bit more like cute. So we braided my hair into pipe cleaners, like the arts and crafts pipe cleaners that you would, the colorful ones. We braided those into my hair, and then we wrapped like hair around my hair, and then we just like it only took a couple hours, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out Dia, man. I love you.
Yeah, love
Wow.
Dia.
That's my twin sister. I'm a twin.
Literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, look, I'm still over here like,
You're like, wait, hold on.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Yeah. Y'all need your hair done. Hit me. I'll hit my sister.
Dope, dope. Okay. So take me through the like that's just the hair though.
And then like the pants, like
Where's
honestly.
the shot at the outfit.
Okay, so We shot it at Finding Bright Studios in Lowell. Shout out Jaina. She is a set designer out there. She does music videos. She does short films. She's crazy creative and so dope. So I'm really appreciative that I came across her studio. The pants, Dia let me borrow them in the when I'm in the box, the camo, and then I had. I had like a black bikini top, or I had like a bikini top on, and I like had a cut white. I just like created something. Like I didn't buy these things. Like yeah, like I just made.
Even if y'all see this is fire, like
I just made it together, and really there was no like treatment to the video because I just wanted to have fun in the sets. And Colin shot it for me, and he went crazy on the camera. It was edited by Cameron Tello, and another editor.
How many people's involved?
Yeah, and another editor out in Maine. His name's Uther Moon. And he's crazy dope. And my friend Ajahn Patel, who is also an artist himself, just helped do some visual effects. And me and Cam sat and arranged like the clips ourselves. And it just like I recorded that in August. So it took some months, but yeah, I was extremely intentional about it. I like literally asked Sadiq, like I was like, no, I don't like this version. Like we're gonna keep nitpicking, because when it comes to my visual content, like just how I dress, how I talk, how I interact with people is extremely important to me. My character is extremely important.
Where'd you get that from though?
I think it's just always been like that. Like with being, I feel like I've always been the weird girl.
Pause. What school did y'all go to?
I went to Boston Latin Academy, like Noble.
I was a Mecco kid. I went to Newton North.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a little bit younger. Okay, I was gonna say there's some people I know that. No.
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
But yeah, I feel like I've always been an outsider. Like I've always been that weird girl that dances all the time. Like, what's good with you? Like, and I never felt the need to conform or like be someone who I wasn't, because it didn't feel right to me. So the fact that I can say I'm still the same person I was like 10 years ago is dope. But yeah,
I've always been an a-hole, so everybody just know that.
And besides like when you
respect for it too.
I feel like when you listen to music too, like you create your own perception on who the artist is. So like even with like my more aggressive music, people probably think I'm being literal when it's not. I'm speaking figuratively.
Y'all better wake that up.
You feel me?
That's my jump.
And like yeah, I feel like
got the headphones on.
Like yeah, I just feel like my visual content is going to be extremely important for people to not only hear me but see me and like see who I am and get like a true taste of like who I am if they don't get to see me like perform live like ever. So yeah, that's a little bit about the video. You have anything to add?
Oh man, yeah, just shout out everybody involved. Like it couldn't have happened without everyone's input. And a big thing with us is we like to use the word synergy. So it's like whatever the product is, it's going to be bigger than anything we could all do on our own. So like it's really dope when you get to see so many amazing creatives contributing to something and working towards a common goal. So yeah.
Dope. Somebody asked a question, I didn't even realize that. It's Chris Lowry. What would you recommend for a young lady to show? What would you recommend for a young lady to show her talent, but she's stage fright?
Well, I
can say something, but I'll let you.
So yeah, I would love to hear what you have to say too. But I feel like the best advice that I can give is don't overthink or don't care about how you're being perceived. When you go up there, what's the worst somebody can say is like they don't like it,
right?
And that's however you take that is like you don't internalize anything. The reason why my first show came out the way that it did and everybody loved it is because I literally performed like I do in my car or like when I'm in my room by myself acting crazy. Like, just be you. Like, that's the most important thing. Like, be you. Represent yourself in the best way possible. Do not try to be something else or like perform in a way where you feel like it's just appealing to other people. Don't care about anything. Don't care about what anybody has to say or how anybody's gonna react. That doesn't matter. What matters is if you felt good doing what you're doing. So for the young lady that asked that question, you can do it. I'm extremely proud of you that you even asked me that question. And if there's any way that I could meet you or we can just chop it up, I would love to talk to you and just, get to know you and hopefully encourage you further. So
100%.
But what were you gonna say?
That same, not saying, but yeah, like, at this point, stage fright is gonna happen whether you're in front of 2 people or 2,000 people, 200,000 people. So it's like you gotta act like they're all the same and just go on. If you really want something, you gotta fail, you gotta win, you gotta try all of that. So it's like, how would you know
if you don't try?
Right. So that's literally all something like, how would you know if what's gonna happen? So like stage fright, I have stage fright too.
Me too.
They're like, we want you to make an announcement. I'm like, why? Like,
Yo, me too.
and nobody knows that I'm like really like
Yeah.
frightened right now. I'm just
like to this day, like I can perform in front of 500 people, but if you were to tell me after your performance you need to give a speech, I would shit out myself.
Look at it. No, you get good. And it's like I'm the opposite though. I like to talk, but then if you're like as a DJ, make an announcement, I'm like, oh, they're gonna hear my voice, and I don't think I don't want. I don't be real, like, because somebody else said it, like, y'all haven't seen me DJ like that. I hate talking, like hyping people up. People be ready to host. I might take the mic, like if I'm doing a wedding, I feel like that's the only time I'm in my bag.
Okay.
But like at a regular event, I grew up with so many DJs that was talking like. The song will just be playing. Here goes Keys to do something. I'm like, what the? I'm like, when is the song gonna play? So I always not wanted to be that DJ. Like,
okay.
So then now it's like I'm scared to talk on the mic. They're gonna be like, who the hell is this person talking?
Yeah.
Even at the MFA the other day, they looked back. I was like, oh my god, everybody's staring at me. And all I'm saying, this is where the bathroom's at. Like,
yeah.
But you gotta get over that. Like you can't. I'm gonna say when the bag is good, you get over those.
Yeah. If I could offer one thing,
right?
I'd say like start with your friends. You know what I'm saying? That's the
good.
lowest pressure environment.
That's the manager talking. There we go.
when you like, Kei and I could laugh about anything. She could play stuff for me. Like it might be stuff she don't even believe in. You know what I'm saying? But people around her be like, "Are you crazy? Like it's been stuck in my head for weeks. Yeah. Like you need to drop this or you need to do that." Like when you start with your friends, they should be straightforward with you. If they're real, they'll be like, "This is it. Like why don't you like that?" And they'll really ask you about it. But it's also like when you start thinking about showing your talent in front of other people and you start growing it, like performing in front of 500,000, 1,500 people, like there's teams behind. It's not one person making that happen. So if you got the confidence of your peoples in you and those are the people you care about, like it's a representation of everybody. Not to add more pressure to you. It's just more like, yo, I feel comfortable because I'm playing my role. Yep. I feel a part of something bigger than me. And maybe Kei, you could speak to that a little more. Like that's just kind of my perspective on it. Like if you think like when you're going to perform, I mean, you're pretty confident, I like to think.
Yeah, I haven't seen them like.
Yeah.
Literally when I seen, oh my god.
I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, I'm pretty.
Performance when I first seen you at the testing lab too. I gotta type in Brockton. If y'all don't know, I updated my phone and I could do this, but like you can literally type in Brockton wherever you're at and find out all the events. But like,
really?
Yeah. And you got an iPhone?
Yeah.
Go like this right now. We're gonna do this online. Boom. Right.
Let me see your phone.
Go to photos.
Oh, photos?
I did see that.
You can go to like literally anything, but I've been doing this for months. But now the upgrade
because they have like lists of stuff
that you did,
that's
like
dope.
the plate. Yeah.
So, anyways, that goes to say your confidence has always been there. If nobody, granted, you could be nervous, but nobody else knows that stuff.
Yeah,
and that's what it comes down to. Because it's like if you're nervous, it's just like, so why should we be nervous? Like this, she's not ready to perform. Like what's going on?
The other thing I'd say is like. Start small, like small stages. You could in this day and age, you turn your Instagram live on. That's a stage.
Say it.
You look in the mirror. That's a stage. It's an audience of one, but it's a stage. Like it takes practice. You know, no one comes out just. I mean, I can't speak for other people, but I know I've spoken in front of large groups of people and stuff too, and nobody comes out just ready to do that. You gotta start small.
I'm like so determined to find this video, and I'm gonna send it to you. That's crazy. Oh my god.
What video?
Yo,
you recorded the video.
No, that's the thing. So it's like outside of DJing, like a photographer just told me this. Like he's like, I'm gonna get a video in your hand. I said, don't do that because I'm gonna be nervous. Like I'll be shaking. But on my phone, when I capture everything. Like
you got the 2 terabyte storage.
You want to go up more?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I got Dropbox for storage. Like it's crazy. Yeah. But it's like I really, if I. This is jacked up. Whether if I think you whack or not, like I'm gonna get a picture because I'm just like, okay, cool, because like I like seeing people's growth. But it's like, no, if I really think like you're fire, like every time I see you on stage, I don't need to be on stage.
But the camera's
like,
up.
oh my God, let me get this person. And I literally just posted on Twitter. I'm like, what's his name? Coogie and Coogie and I could literally be them. Like I got footage because y'all are so freaking dope.
Oh.
And y'all are from Dorchester.
I appreciate
and Mattapan. So, anyway.
Yeah, I feel like the only one situation, I wasn't even nervous. It was just like a jacked up. I went to Springfield and I was performing at this weed event, right? I was performing at this weed event and everybody was chilling, whatever. I went like towards the end of the show. So everybody was faded. Everybody was zooted to the point where I'm like about to sing a song for the ladies. I'm like, ladies, let me hear you say it. And everybody's just like, no, they didn't even say nothing. They're just like, and then I'm like, all right, let me repeat it. So I'm like, all right, ladies, let me hear you say it. And I was just like, wow, this is awful.
And that's one thing I feel like when it comes to building confidence,
Yeah.
you gotta have those.
That was a humbling moment.
You know
That was
what
a
I'm saying?
humbling moment.
I'm laughing because I'm like, dang, I'd have been like, all right, we're not doing it. Yeah, no.
Yeah. You know,
because that builds your thick skin. You're like, all right, it can't be that bad.
Right.
You know, like I already seen it there. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, dang, man. Like, all right, let's get to it. Like,
But I feel like with your presence now, like you'll be the person to hop in the crowd and be like, you're gonna get up. You're gonna listen to me. Like I'm gonna get your attention. Like I don't care how high you are. We're gonna be high together. Let's jump across stage. Like I feel like from that, like when did that happen?
That happened in like the top of the year, like for the first quarter of like last year.
Yeah, no.
maybe,
I think right now, literally, if that happened right now in a show, you're gonna be like, we're not doing this show until everybody's up on their feet. That's what I do. Like literally as a DJ, I'm like, y'all look tired. I'm not about to hype y'all up to a tired crowd. Yeah. Nah. I'm like, yo, y'all stay back there real quick. Like, y'all say like, nah.
It's definitely about reading the room.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
So.
And seeing what type of. I said, let me see. To wrap this up, let me see, because this has been dope. And I don't like ask. I hope I don't been asking like repeated questions.
No, you haven't at all.
Yeah.
Like I try to do my best. I tell everybody like to look at other interviews. To be like,
you are doing your
talk about
best.
other shit.
You're
Like,
doing
oh,
great.
You're doing a
See,
great job.
I'm making trouble. You ain't gonna get trouble. What's the best advice you have been given, or what are some encouraging words? That's the liquor talking. You would say to LIO listeners, and then how can we support you? That was 3.
That's cool.
You want to start with that? What's the best advice you've been given? The best advice I feel like I've been given is like, when I first started doing this, I was still working a job. I was struggling. And I feel like the best advice that I get is from my boy Clark D. Shout out Clark D.
Yeah, mine
I love him. He will always put you in your place when you go to him. And I remember I was talking to him and I was like, yo, like I'm trying to do this music stuff and I'm still working a job. I'm not happy. They're not paying me enough. I'm struggling. My bills aren't paid. My car insurance. He was like, Kei, I love you. And if you're coming to me as a friend, I can be here for you as a friend. But it seems like you're not coming to me as a friend. And to be honest, I don't really care that you're going through these things. He was like, because it doesn't matter. He was like, we're all going through stuff. You feel me? So why is that an excuse? Like, if you want to do it, you're going to find a means to do it. If you want to smoke some weed, you're going to find a way to smoke some weed. If you're trying to drink, you're trying to go out, you're going to find a means to do that. But when it comes to the things that you're going to you want to do in life, everybody seems to have an excuse as to why they can't do it. He was like, you just need to work harder and you just need to do what you got to do. And I feel like that really kind of gave me a reality check. And after that, like I stopped working my job and I was just focused on this full time. I was focused on like my craft and making music and really getting serious with this. And it's definitely paid off. And that's the best decision I have ever made in my entire life. And I feel like I get feedback and advice all the time from a whole bunch of friends and family. But I feel like that was one of the best pieces of advice that I've gotten so far.
For sure. Yeah. Oh man, there's so many different things I could touch on. Like I feel like I've received wonderful advice from so many different people. just Clark alone. Like,
Yeah.
Anytime Clark get with you, he's gonna put a battery in your back, man, because he's just one of them ones.
Really good people. His bros, like everybody.
Yeah, Guy,
Yeah.
all of them, they're all like wonderful, you know.
Wait, I can't hear you in the mic. All right, go ahead.
I turned myself off because I wanted just to hear y'all.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. Look at no, I said Clark D. They're really some good people.
Yeah.
Him and his bros, and y'all should tap in with them.
Yeah.
And
One
I
of-
believe they're in ATL now.
Yeah, they're in Atlanta
ATL,
now.
right.
So one of probably the biggest one that I feel, I'll say two. There's two things, and I forget where the second one came from. But the first one came from a mentor of mine out of Miami. His name is Delro, and I do a lot of event work with him. And I remember the first time I was getting put in some of these rooms and meeting like really amazing people, and it was like surreal to me. Like I was trying to own it and feel like I belonged there for real, and I didn't really know how to see myself there, even though I was there. You know, having the confidence to really show up as I needed to. And he basically told me, he was like, "Yo, you just gotta own it." You
I'm
know,
getting ready, y'all. My bad.
I know.
he was like, "You just gotta own it." So that's something I've been trying to do a little bit more with. And then the second piece of advice is deal with reality on reality's terms.
Deal with reality on reality's terms.
Yeah, because I feel like too often, you know, whether it's making excuses or, you know, we be a little delusional about things sometimes, or we have these goals and expectations, and it's like sometimes we got to get out of our own heads and just look at what's in front of us and be like, all right, how do I navigate this situation? You know, so that's been huge. All of last year, I feel like
Wisdom right now. Woo.
yeah, all of last year, that was something that I feel like I really tried to embody. So
And what was the other two questions?
I know I did like 5.
no, it's okay.
How can Lunch is Over and Spark FM Online support you? I asked that to everybody. Like, I know we got the music, but like, how can we support you? Like, that's just general.
For sure.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, get some more of the local and upcoming emerging industry folks in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people I know who I consider executives. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to hear their perspectives.
Dope.
That, you know, I don't say that's just supporting me. That's supporting the creative ecosystem that allows us to be. You know what I'm saying? And having those perspectives out there, because I've literally watched Kei inspire young women, you know, who like, I want to do this now. I want to try this. Or they want to ask them questions and stuff like that. Like, I want to see the same thing for the executives. There are people who might not know their lane until they hear that perspective. And they're like, dang, I didn't even know that was real, or that was a possibility, or there's even other people out here doing that, you know? Like, fortunately, I was around long enough to see the Charlias, the Tims, you know, I met Rob later on, but like some of these people in
Rob
that
really do put him.
Rob is that guy, bro. You know,
Yeah.
and to see that and speak to them and be able to ask them questions, like, I feel like I got so much game that helped me move forward. People that I still reach out to and ask questions and still just catch up with, you know, to have a rapport with them, because they're like, when they were coming up, they ain't have those same resources, you know? So just sharing the resources in that, letting people share their perspectives, good, bad, or indifferent, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there was a third question.
No, it was like mixing one. It was
the advice,
Yeah.
the how Lunch is Over can support, and I don't remember the third one.
oh, like what's the best advice you've been given? But it's like that was like
Yeah.
all mixed in.
Yeah. Yeah, and finding like more opportunities where we can collaborate and come together. Whether if, like, because I know you have done the Wentworth Pride,
Yes.
also BAMS Fest last year. I seen the booth there, and just finding more ways and opportunities where outside of this space where we can connect and share our influence and just bring other people in for real. I wouldn't say there's anything in particular.
No,
like,
I need you on a show.
yeah, like
Go get this happening. Go get this happening.
yeah, like
Absolutely.
you feel me? Like
Yeah.
whatever we're doing right now, just continue to do it.
All right.
You know, like that's really it.
I'm proud of y'all. Like,
Thank
I'm proud of you.
y'all.
No,
Look
for
at-
real.
This is all.
Yeah,
Like-
thank you.
I'm just a grandma in the group. I'm just here in the
Oh,
background.
stop it.
I'm just playing the background. But like, no, seeing this individually together is really inspiring.
Thank you.
No matter what level anybody is at, like this should be inspiring for other people to duplicate what's happening in their own way, because you can't duplicate us exactly. But I'm grateful, like, to even just be talking to you all.
Thankful. It's truly a blessing.
It's a weird feeling. You know what? You know how you can help? I'm sorry. This is one last thing.
I'm interested.
You know, don't put people on pedestals. I feel like this is a beautiful platform. That's why I'm saying invite more people. You know, don't put nobody on a pedestal, because at the end of the day, and I know Kei say this all the time, like, we regular people, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I see why you're saying that. Yeah.
You know, like,
I was like, I hope I don't do that. I was telling people I was just taking the bus 7 months ago and I just got a call. So like, I was DJing. I was trying to be the mobile DJ, trying to be cute in this whole thing.
And share those honest perspectives, because like you said, people speak on the good all the time. They don't know, you know, the BS that sometimes comes along with choosing this career path, you know, and it can be really extremely rewarding, but there's so many learning experiences, and that's why I feel like the earlier you get those things out, you know, accolades can speak, whatever, that's great, but it's like, yo, there's real life between it. There's people that put in countless hours behind this. Like, you don't know how many sleepless nights. You don't know how many failures it took before somebody
reached
that, you know what I'm saying? Or if somebody's throwing a festival, what it take for them to throw a second one and grow it, you know, or like to come back from certain things. You know, those are the people that keep getting back up and make it happen, that continue to inspire me. And those are the people I go to. I'm like, how'd you navigate this? Or like, I've had people come back to me and ask me questions like, I understand now why you was moving like that, this and that, you know. So
everybody think you're trying to be like not share something or trying to be like whatever, but they look.
There'd be so much other stuff to it. Like just ask honest questions like you've been doing, and let people, you know, live in their truth.
Yeah.
I know. I love all the fun shows and stuff. But I'm like,
I need the hard stuff too.
Right, we go through so much that I'm just like, like I don't even say festival right now. I don't want to hear those. But no, I appreciate you all. Make sure y'all tap in. We're gonna go back to some music real quick, and then we'll figure out. I'll let you all know. Thank you all for tuning in to Lunch Is Over on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Chis Copper will be back in. I love him. I'm gonna fight him though, even though he's tall. I always tell the tall people I'm gonna stand on a chair and fight you, and they just laugh. And I'm like, I'm not joking. Like, I'm really gonna stand on a chair.
Oh yeah. And one more thing, if you're looking for me, my name is Kei. Hey. You can find me on Instagram at Kiwi Fruit, which is KeiWei Fruit, and you can find me on all DSP streaming platforms at.
Follow Kei, man. I don't think my at's as important, but if you look in her bio, you can find me as well. It's at solely.sadiq, SOLELY.SADIQ. Twitter is Sadiq.wings. So SOLELY.
Yes. Sadiq, SADIQ.